The stupid question from me, for which you're welcome. And that question was, what would happen if you changed the positions of the king and queen for one side in a chess game? So that rather than opposite numbers facing each other, you had the king facing the queen and the queen facing the king.
Yeah, so we've got this set up here. We've moved the white king to d1 and the white queen to e1, so they've just swapped over. The black pieces are as they are. We suspect that it's a disadvantage, not necessarily because there's anything objectively bad about it, more that I've never played this before.
Yeah, so we tried to offset that by giving it to white, so you at least get the first move, even if your position's a bit broken.
We are coming at this completely fresh. We haven't practiced. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Speak for yourself, I've been training for the whole week.
So we're going to play 3 minute plus 2 second blitz, and I suppose we should see how we do.
Goes. And I'll do my best to commentate.
Yeah, this is the bit I'm looking forward to most, I think, is John attempting to commentate for the first time on a chess
like, how
game.
do I go in with a sort of David Attenborough and sort of as though I'm watching too?
I think you want somewhere between Attenborough and horse racing.
And he's coming down the outside.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. Okay, so Phil is going to take white pieces with the positions reversed, yeah?
With the king and queen reversed,
and,
yes.
And Chris has got the black pieces.
Yeah, I have the hopefully slightly easier job of playing a position I've seen before.
Literally from the start. Yeah. Yeah, Phil is already out of his preparation.
I'm out of my book, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess we go from here.
Okay.
All right, best of luck, mate.
Oh, to go for the mandatory fist
Well,
bump.
my right hand is
And he's off with a queen's pawn opening from Phil.
to e4.
I
Yeah,
think
this is already too confusing.
I think Chris might go for the Russell opening.
Well, this is it. We've got an entire new opening book here. We can just name all of these moves after ourselves.
Oh, and he's just gone for pushing his king pawn forward 1.
So I've already learnt the French doesn't work very well here.
Yeah, Chris is going for the French and it's not
because
working.
the exchange, you can't play the exchange because the pawn on e6 is pinned.
Phil has gone for... there's a lot of moves that have happened. Phil controlled the centre of the board, and then there was a swap off of pawns, and now Chris has a queen sitting in a fairly uncomfortable position in the middle.
I'm not sure how this happened
which is
so
being
fast.
attacked by a pawn. Oh, that's an interesting one. Both queens are under attack.
Are you sure about this? Then you just lose a piece.
Yeah, I thought this was check. I've made a huge mistake already.
There's been a huge mistake.
Chris played bishop to b4, thinking it would hit my king on e1, but it was only my queen, so I've been able to take his queen.
Yeah, so I've just lost a piece.
Well, you can take his... Yeah, you've lost. So Chris is now... Oh,
I made a huge mistake.
is now a piece down. And that goes to show, I think, simply how much for granted a chess player takes the positions on the board.
I've thrown my bishop straight into his Bing side.
So for the listener, Phil has a fairly aggressive pawn on the 6th rank. Is that right? Phil is now pushing pawns with wild abandon. His development is much better, I would say, than Chris's.
Chris has forfeited castling as well, which is something that...
Yeah, I've not done a good job of this at all.
Always castle, kids. This is pretty filthy.
I've got to say, I'm out of my book here too, so I'm completely out of my zone. I'd say that at this position, Chris's development isn't great. He's got a bishop hanging quite extremely amongst Phil's pieces, and very little development. Well, maybe he's got his rook or his castle or his tower looking quite dangerous on the d file.
Where my king still is. I haven't castled yet.
Yeah, I guess you can only castle on the wing side.
This is the wing side, yeah.
He has now castled on the wing side.
That came a little bit out of left field for me as well. I didn't appreciate that he was just able to castle away there.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So here we go.
Okay.
The hanging bishop is now becoming
I think you're busted here.
It looks very, very bad, doesn't it?
I should say Chris has a minute left. Phil has 2 minutes 41, so there's definite advantage here for white, I would say.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. I resign.
Okay, now would you like to go with the...
Yeah, do it the other way around.
Yes.
And don't blunder this time.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Positions reversed. How are you feeling are you feeling a lot more confident about this game than you did a minute into the last game?
I think I'm actually feeling less confident now I know the scale of mistake I'm able to make in this game.
Okay.
Right,
Ready to go?
let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
The mandatory fist bump, and it's off. He's gone for a king's pawn opening, so we'll see something slightly different. The makepiece opening. He's pushed his knight to f6.
So I'm just going to play the King's Indian and see what happens, I think.
Chris is now very much controlling the centre with 2 pawns. Phil's playing a very standard King's Indian.
I managed to castle, which is something that Chris didn't manage to do last game.
The Phil's Indian. Yeah, so the first example of a castle in the Bingside rules, which is matched by an opposite side castle, but technically not. But
So it's on the wing side.
so it's the wing side. This is looking like a much more proficient game of chess than the last one did. I'm impressed with Chris's ability to play with the pieces in the right place.
I'm not so sure that castling directly into my long bishop is necessarily the best idea here, but we'll see.
Chris is pushing his pawns.
Oh, coming after me.
He is being very aggressive here.
I mean, I think it's garbage, but
Looked interesting for about 5 seconds.
So Chris is attacking down the... Oh, let me get this right. The Bing side. And Phil is now counterplaying down the wing side. This is a lot more complex game than the last one. I feel like the position simplified very quickly in the last
well, I've
game.
won a pawn. Chris just gave me a pawn. He's opened up my...
He's not. It's a clever move. You just haven't seen it.
He's
Come on,
opened
give
up
him
my
more credit.
tower.
I didn't understand that one because you did sort of open up that file and now your bishop is under attack from said rook. Exchange has happened with the bishop and the knight. Knight is back to where it was, threatening h7.
This might be the longest I've made Phil think in 2 games put together.
Yeah, Phil is thinking at the moment. Takes
Chris's
another-
centre is disappearing fast.
I feel like Chris is going for
He's going for cheapness.
yeah. So here we go.
When he manages to check, I guess.
So his Bing side attack is now looking less dangerous. He's coming through the centre now.
Yeah, my king's on h8. It's on a dark square. He doesn't have a dark squared bishop. This should be fine.
Let's not overthink it.
Okay, hold on. There's all sorts of fruit here. Let's... Ooh.
I should say that this game will be put up visually on our social media feed, which will make it, I think, a little bit more interesting.
Yeah,
for
we'll try and get it so
listener
that the audio fits the GIF, but...
Chris is being very attacking now. His queen is deep in enemy territory. His knight is deep in enemy territory. Phil is now got a rook
Wow.
on the B file attacking Chris's king.
I've broken all the rules, but it seems to be working.
He's broken all the rules, which are don't ever put a rook on the B file attacking the king.
Well, my knight's on b7, which is one of the worst squares it could be on. There's just if your knight's one square in from the corner in each corner,
Yeah,
so
limiting.
b7, g7, g2, b2,
Limiting your
they have
reach.
terrible scope.
Yeah.
But
What was the thought behind that move?
I wanted to play it into c5 next because his queen's on e6, so I wanted to attack it from there. I'm not sure I'm going to have to because this looks
Chris is
very
thinking.
terminal.
Chris is down to a minute to go. And he's got a discovered attack on Phil's queen now. Phil's feeling a little bit nervous.
What do I do? Where do I put this? All right. Okay, so I can take. I can't resist this. Okay.
Okay.
Now I've got to
very
find.
direct.
Now
very
I've got to
direct
find.
attack.
Let's just bring this knight into c5 as advertised.
Now potentially both queens could be under attack.
Or Chris is going for perpetual.
Yeah, he is.
He's going for the
So
threefold
there's a check.
repetition we mentioned last
There's
week.
a check.
Okay, now I've got to be careful here.
Yeah.
Right, so let's get rid of that bishop.
Phil's king is hiding behind a bishop.
Don't want to
on
let.
H8.
I don't want to let him.
Win. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Where do I want?
Too much risk of that.
So I've got.
Giving up a lot of pieces.
So I have an extra piece here in exchange for 2 pawns, but my king is wide open.
And your queen is wide open
My
as well.
queen is very wide open. I'm not sure where to put my queen. I don't want him to be able to perpetual me, which is very much on the cards. Right, let's go. Ooh, I don't know.
This is a key part of the game.
This is really hard.
Both
I don't
players
know.
are about to be under a minute.
I guess I'll just... I can't really stop all the checks. Oh, I can. Let's go here.
And a move has been made.
This is almost like a normal position now where you've just castled queenside.
Yeah, and really gone for it.
When you did really go for it.
Somewhat regretting.
So what? I'm a bishop for 2 pawns up now. So what I should do in theory is exchange everything off. So I've offered a queen swap, and
Yeah, he's
Chris
rejected
has
it.
rejected it correctly. And I'm going to try to. So if you exchange things off, you basically get. So there's white has 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, Chris is a piece down. So I've got 4 pieces versus 3. If I can exchange all those off, get rid of his major pieces, then it should be that the bishop. My extra bishop would be up against nothing in theory.
Check.
But this is very thin.
Chris is down to 12 seconds.
And I've put my queen and bishop on a battery down the long diagonal towards Chris's king now. And this should be over soon, I hope. Maybe not. Okay, this isn't as easy as I thought it would be. I've got to get on with it.
Turns out Chris is a competent player. Who knew?
Who knew?
Certainly not me.
Well, this is a very precarious...
Chris is flagged. Probably in a lost position.
Yeah, I think this is unravelling as well.
You went quite attacking down the Bing side from the off. Was that just because you felt as though it was a weakness, or...?
Yeah, I was hoping that my queen on its new square would add some extra firepower to the attack, but it didn't really do that at all. And my attack was actually a bit slower than normal.
That attack was premised on the idea that the queen was in a different square.
Yeah, and I tried to line it up down the e-file to attack this extra pawn I created. But again, it was all a little bit slow.
Yeah.
2-0.
Yeah.
So I think we'll have a running total of these as we go through. As we deal with
Phil
John's.
says when he's 2-0 up already.